over it today because it's very much related to tomorrow night and the 15th of Sha'ban. Absolutely related. So I'm going to start off by telling you a story and then I'll continue with Surah Al-Qadr. So it was the 14th night of Sha'ban, which is tomorrow night. And the sister of the 10th Imam, whose name was Sayyidah Hakima, she went to have iftar at her nephew's house. Her nephew was the 11th Imam. That means she was fasting. Everybody fasts in Sha'ban. So she went to his house for iftar. And after iftar, he said, please don't go. Please stay, because my son is going to be born tomorrow. So she said, okay. So she stayed at his house and he said, please, for the whole night, can you recite Suratul Qadr? So she recited Suratul Qadr, and then she says, at Fajr time in the morning, on the 15th of Sha'ban, she said, I could hear a recitation of Suratul Qadr from the tummy of Sayyidah Hakima. Sayyidah Hakima was Imam Hassan Askari's wife and Imam Mahdi's mom. And she said, I could hear it. And he was born at Fajr. Now, Qadr is really, really important. I talked about it with you many, many times. And I told you, whatever problems you have, anything at all, recite Qadr. Somebody gets angry at you, recite Qadr. If you want to calm down, recite Qadr. So we're going to go over it very quickly. And then I'm going to look at it with you at the amals for tomorrow night. I know you may do them in class, but I need you to listen with me. Because if nothing else, I need you to recite Surah Al-Qadr. So we said that the focus of Surah Al-Qadr was the awesomeness of the night of the birthday of the Qur'an. The whole of Ramadan, the fasting we do, the Qur'an we do, the du'as, it's all because of the preparation for the birthday of the Qur'an. So the Qur'an is revealed all at once on the night of Qadr to the heart of the Prophet. I told you what Qadr meant. It was quantity and quality. What you write down tomorrow night and on the night of Qadr are really, really important. Those were all the things that I said were important. It was good for anything you wanted. It was like read it once, it's like fasting for a whole month. Read it 10 times, 1,000 sins are forgiven. My goodness, it's not rocket science to just keep on reading it again and again and again. You want to be good? Recite it 7 times. It's amazing. So we're going to go over it, and you're going to recite it with me with your sounds off at the moment. But recite it with me loudly. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alf shahr. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Now, when we call Laylatul Qadr the night of the 23rd of Ramadan, you also call Laylatul Bara'a the same sort of night. Tomorrow is called Laylatul Bara'a, the night of freedom. Now let me tell you a story so you know about it. So what happened? I'm going to come back to these in a minute. So the Prophet was sleeping on the night of the 15th of Sha'ban. And Jibreel comes to him and says, Muhammad, why are you sleeping? And he said, Jibreel, what night is it? So he said, this is the night of the 15th of Sha'ban. And he took the Prophet to the graveyard of Baqi. And he said, look up. And when the Prophet looked up, he could see the doors of Jannah that are open. You know, when I was young, when I was very, very small, every night of 15th of Sha'ban, my grandmother used to take us up. We used to have a terrace on top of our house, like it was a flat bit that you could go up to. And she would take us up there and she would say, look up, just look up and tell Allah, keep the doors of Jannah open for me. And I'd like you to do that. You can all look out of the window. You can go in your patio. You can go outside and just look up and say, Ya Allah, leave it open for me. So he tells him that, Muhammad, whoever spends this night remembering Allah, doing istighfar, reciting Qur'an, and writing out their timetable, Allah will forgive all their sins. I'm reading to you what he told the Prophet. So it's not rocket science to keep awake. Imam Muhammad Baqir and Imam Jafar Sadiq say, Allah has promised to fulfill everything you want tonight. So stay awake. He said there's not a single person who does dua in this night that his duas are not accepted. My goodness. I look at this night and I think, oh God, got to do this. So what are the things we're supposed to do? The first thing we're told is at the time of sunset, and that's why I always ask you for the time for salah. So tomorrow's sunset is 7:39. Time of sunset, go to ghusl. You do a ghusl, you go for a quick shower, and you do a ghusl, and you say, I'm doing this ghusl for the 15th of Sha'ban. After Isha, there's a 2 rakat salah. You will see, if you go to Q Fatima, you'll be able to download the book and all the notes on there. So after Salatul Isha, 2 rakat, Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Kafirun, you all know it, and then Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas. And there's some du'as to be read. You can't read the du'a, it's alright. Just read Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. It's a night for asking for forgiveness. It's on 15th of Sha'ban that Dua Kumail was revealed. I mean, I say revealed, when Imam Ali taught his companions. So he was sitting in the mosque of Kufa, and he said, this is what Kumail says. Kumail says, I was sitting with my master Ali in Masjid de Kufa, and everybody asked him, what does this verse mean? This was verse 4 of Surah 44. Easy to remember, 444. Surah Al-Dukhan verse 4, which says, every wise command is made clear in this night. And Imam said, the meaning of this is the night of the 15th of Sha'ban. Imam said, I swear by the one who holds the life of Ali in his hand, that not a single servant of Allah, except that all the good and bad that will reach him in this year, is divided and handed on the 15th of Sha'ban. If you stay tonight and you recite the dua of Khidr, all your duas are answered. So they said, Ya Ali, what is the dua of Khidr? That's why we've done it in green. He said, that dua I will teach you. And he taught them. And Kumail followed Imam Ali and said, I want to learn this dua more. So Imam said, Kumail, I am giving it to you so you can teach it to everyone. Now he did such a good marketing campaign. So good that instead of calling it dua Khizr, everybody called it dua al-Kumail. Just like, we say you got to vacuum the carpets. Hoover did such a good marketing campaign that we now say, let's hoover. We don't say, let's vacuum the carpets. So just like that, Kumail did such a good marketing campaign. Today, nobody knows it as Dua al-Khidr. It's known as Dua al-Kumail. He's known as Khidr because wherever he sat, it would become green. If it was brown, it would become green. There'd be flowers everywhere. So that is him. The other thing we do on this night is recite Surah Yasin 3 times. And we recite Surah Yasin 3 times with 3 intentions. We say long life, we want prosperity, and we don't want any misfortunes. You want to recite it once? Recite it once. It's okay. It doesn't matter. But you got to connect to Imam. And when we connect to Imam, we write an arida. Now you can download them from Q Fatima. They're all there. So in this arida, it's like saying to Imam, you know what? You're saying to Allah actually. Saying, I've tried really hard with everything I want to do. I can't do any more. I'm stuck. So you write in the arida what you are stuck with, and you hand it over. It's like not being able to do something and letting somebody do it for you. I know, for example, I hate ironing these big quilt covers. I find it so hard. Have you ever ironed a quilt cover? My goodness. But I have somebody who helps me called Lucy. And Lucy is so good at ironing quilt covers. So when I give up, I just leave them and say, Lucy, will you do them? And I know she will do them. That's the trust I have in Lucy. So just like that, when you can't handle something, write it in arida and you say, I trust you. And when we post it in water, because you got to post it in water, the idea is you've handed it over. You don't analyze it now. You've given it over. You trust Imam to sort it out. And water purifies. And when you post it, you are actually talking to Hussein ibn Raw, which was a representative of Imam. You say, Ya Hussein ibn Raw, salamun alaikum. I bear witness that you died in the way of Allah because he worked really hard. And you say that I am asking you to give this to Imam. Please give it to Imam. And I hate it when people scribble on an arida or write with their fingers, because arida means a petition. And you're writing to Imam. Write properly in the neatest of handwriting and write to him. Understand what's written in there as well. The translation is on the website and you can have a look. It's an amazing night. So tomorrow, please don't lose it. Now on your screens, you can see another arida. I call that a cryptic arida. Now that arida I keep with me all the time. That means I stick it on my computer, I keep it as a card in my wallet, so I know. So let's see what's on that arida. So for example, you can add any numbers you like. I've got 51, which I want to pray 51 rakats every day. 114, I want to know all the 114 surahs of the Qur'an. 99, I want to know the 99 Asma'ul Husna. 14, I want to understand the 14 Masumin. I also put other numbers in there as well. There's a heart there, you can write whatever you want in there. In the other hearts, I've put Hubbul Hussein Junnani. I always want to love Hussein. I've put Ya Ali or Ali. I've put GPS. GPS is God positioning system. That's the Qur'an. Not global positioning system like what's in your cars, but God positioning system. So I put that there as the Qur'an. And I love that little saying of Imam Ali. He says, when Allah inspires you to your tongue to ask, know that it's because He wants to give. So I'm always asking. Now at the side you will see all these numbers. These are ayat of Quran that I absolutely adore and that see me through hard times. 28:10 is where Allah holds the heart of Prophet Musa. He holds it when she was trying to put Prophet Musa into the river. She nearly told the soldiers, and he says, we held on to her heart and we gave her strength. Then you have 66:11, God built for me a house with you in Jannah. I love these. Then you have Ghafir. This is where Allah says, if you ask for forgiveness, I will never ever leave you. That means once we ask for forgiveness, He is with us. He can never punish a people who ask for forgiveness. Then you have 12:8. It's actually 12:86, by the way. It's not 12:83. So if you change that 83 to 86, which means I only complain to Allah. 38:35, that's asking for a kingdom. Everybody wants a massive kingdom. It's like the dua of Sulaiman. 3173, we say Allah is enough for us. Everybody knows 2187. This is a dua that Prophet Yunus recited in the tummy of the whale. Then you have 54:10, which Prophet Nuh recited. Help me, I'm drowning, he said. 40:44, I give everything to Allah. وَفَوِّضْ أَمْرِي لَلَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. 91:8, he says the Prophet is Ra'ufur Rahim. When you ask Allah, say, Ya Allah, I ask you in the name of Muhammad and Ali and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein and Imam Sahib al-Zaman. You ask all these names. 68:23 means trust in Allah. Surah Mujadila, when life puts you in difficult situations and you don't know what to do, recite Surah Al-Mujadila. And finally, Dua al-Mashlul. Now you can put your favorite ayat there. These are mine. And where you see those 3 crosses, you got to look deep inside you and think, what are the things I'm going to take out of my heart? What is that is stopping me from doing good? You can write whatever you want. And you write them there and you put a big cross. Now I write these and then I post them to Imam. And then I write another one and so on and so forth. So this is what you're supposed to do tomorrow. Don't waste tomorrow. And if you can fast on Monday even for a little while, fast. If you can fast for the whole day, even better. But start with an intention of fasting at Fajr, or rather at Sahri, just before Fajr. And finally, many felicitations. So much Mubaraki for Monday, because that is when Imam was born. And if you can do none of these things, you will recite Suratul Qadr all night tomorrow night. Whenever you wake up, whenever you sleep, whenever anything you're doing, I want you to recite Suratul Qadr, because it's an absolutely amazing surah. So